This video shows about 3 to 4 mistakes most gaming channels make. So if you're a gaming channel, then you have to watch this video.
So, what is the first thing we notice, Eric?
Oh shoot. I'm not a big fan of the aesthetic. And I'm trying to see, is that because I'm not the target audience, or but I have no idea what is going on and I don't know where to start.
I felt the same exact way when I pulled this
I
channel
also
up.
think that's fair.
Yeah, the first thing I said was, "Oh, purple." Yes, exactly, purple. That's what I noticed too. So this channel's the first time I've seen in a while to take like thumbnail branding, I'd say too far. It's been a while since I've kind of focused on thumbnail branding because I would say it's like a dead art form a little bit. But they really are leaning into it very, very heavily. They have their character on the left side of every thumbnail, and they have this big purple border. And when they don't have anything to put in that border, like if it's just like a channel trailer kind of video, they just can put some text in the middle. And so I think for simplifying your thumbnail making process, you've done a good job. You've made it really easy for you to make a thumbnail, boom, like that. That's not where you want to be right now, though. I think your thumbnails don't do one very important thing. They don't scream game. In fact, whenever you put a game that I can start to recognize, you cover it in text. It's already smaller because of it has to fit the purple border, but then there's text over the game. And I don't know what game it is. I don't even know that it's a gaming video. It looks like it could be anything. And that's my biggest problem. When you talk about, are any of these reaching out to you and saying, click me? Not exactly. Because I think there's just too much chaos in the thumbnails.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to leave some room, Jen, if you had some thoughts.
I love that they have that concept of like what is jumping out at the viewer, what is saying click me, because I'm sure they work very hard on every single individual thumbnail. It's just a bigger problem when they're all together. It almost makes each one even less clickable, which is so unfortunate because like they're working hard on their channel. I would absolutely encourage this creator to get rid of the purple border. I'm sure they love it. I mean, they picked it, but when it comes to things you really like and like things that make a really good thumbnail, those don't always align perfectly. So I would encourage them to have branding elements within the videos themselves, have their character have lots of purple, have so much purple in the video itself. But we want people to click on it, and we want to utilize the entire thumbnail space to get somebody to click on it. And unfortunately, this border takes away so much real estate. It's kind of just working more as a negative for the channel.
Yeah. And Dan, you said something about the last channel that I think applies to this one and applies to all of them. It's like, I think it's super helpful that we view the channels like this, but your viewer is going to see this individual video surrounded around a bunch of other videos that YouTube thinks they will also like. So your thumbnail has to be so clear that they have an expectation about what this video is about. So you have to package your thumbnail for somebody that knows nothing about you, nothing about your channel, and just through your thumbnail alone, they have some type of expectation to be curious enough to want to know more, if that makes sense. So your thumbnails have to give them enough information, but then leave enough out. And right now, it seems like the focus of these thumbnails are on the aesthetic, but not on like the main root of what a thumbnail should do, which is give them enough information to decide that they want to click.
Yeah. I want to talk about the topics a little bit, the actual content of the videos, because it looks like what they're doing, because based on the latest video, is they're playing games on stream and then turning those into videos, which is a valid strategy. And now when you put your cursor on it too, you can kind of see the purple again. This is what I suspected, which is I think this character is like kind of an avatar that they use for themselves during the streams. And the purple border exists while they're streaming too. It's just, again, so much real estate. I would almost overlay your avatar on the gameplay, and that would look better than this amount of screen real estate being taken up. But aside from that, like my Twitch chat made me play Cuphead. Okay, like when we do videos about like your Twitch chat made you do a thing, the game is almost irrelevant to me. Cuphead's a bit older now, but like if that thumbnail and title are compelling enough, I might still click. It's just that this isn't screaming like, you know, why they made you do that or how it went, you know. And I would almost say like a better thumbnail would be a freeze frame of you like dying in the game or something. Like my Twitch chat made me play Cuphead, and you can imply that it didn't go super well, you know. If I type in my keyboard's off. If I type in my Twitch chat, I wonder if this is a good way of looking at this. I trained Twitch chat to love ads. Of course, it's like only Doug. He does a lot. Like Twitch chat is basically his content, so it makes sense. But you know, thumbnails are really like interesting and compelling. I'm not saying you need to be at this level or anything, but I do think that they are framed really well, where the Twitch chat seems to be part of the content, you know, instead of just, oh, they were the catalyst for why I made this video, which I don't think is as compelling.
I also think there's a way that they can, I get that that's a place on YouTube for my Twitch chat made me X, but I think as a small channel, you have the room, especially if they have title testing. Well, they might not have enough data for it, but still, I would consider taking that out as a small channel and thinking about other ways to frame this video, like playing Cuphead for the first time and losing terribly or what. I don't know exactly what the game is, but thinking about ways that people who are not in your Twitch chat would care about this, because you automatically exclude people who are not a part of it. And they're like, well, I'm not in your Twitch chat. Like, I don't really care as much, versus just different title structure where this is part of your storyline. It doesn't have to be a part of your title. You can open the video and be like, my Twitch chat made me play Cuphead and blah, 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 blah.
I completely agree. That's like when it comes to Doug, when he says my Twitch chat, I know him well enough to know he's doing a social experiment. And the videos are framed that way too. Like his Twitch chat had him invest $10,000. Like, oh, okay, so like a giant group of people you did a social experiment with, they happen to be a Twitch chat, but it could have been, he could have had a seminar, you know, or whatever. He could have gotten a room full of people at the Hyatt and done this live if he wanted to. So that's the difference. Like, you're right. This feels exclusionary. This feels like I wasn't there for that. So, But if it was a social experiment of some kind, like you made Twitch chat play Cuphead using like, you know, modifications in your computer to have them control the game by typing in chat, that's different. That's now like a different experiment that you're doing, and you needed a group of people live to do it, you know? So that's the nuance there. This is like a very nuanced, interesting thing. As far as the game selection goes, and we'll move on, Fall Guys, Cuphead, what else? Some of these I've never heard of. Sunhaven, I've heard of. Bear and Breakfast. These are fun games. I think you have good tasting games. They're still a bit disjointed, and more importantly, they're old. They're very old games. Some of them older than others, like Fall Guys. And I think that's also unfortunately going to hinder your popularity a bit. Because if the players of that game are not really into the game right now, and you're not really offering them a reason to come back, like hey, I learned in Fall Guys you could do this hack that makes you fly across the map and win every game. Like, that would be kind of interesting. Oh, I remember Fall Guys. I didn't know that was a hack. But if you're just playing a game that's very old now and the audience has dwindled away, you are kind of like climbing this huge uphill battle. You have to like be really good at challenges that are interesting for that old game, or you should be playing like newer stuff and stuff that I think you should be looking at how many Steam reviews it has, you know, or if you just pick a game that just came out, like I'm trying to think of a game I'm playing, like Pokemon ZA just came out, a big release from Nintendo. Like, if you're playing that, and then you know, bonus points if you do a challenge, it's not just you playing the game, but like you're really trying to like do something different. Those are things that are going to help your overall popularity, I think. But if you keep sticking with these really old games that don't even have like a player base anymore like they used to, you're kind of the ceiling for your success is so low.
If you want to know how to get games that get you views, then check out this video over here.